So it is your son in real life.
Little Archie, yes.
Your little boy in the show.
There's a lovely touching moment at the end when I cuddle him and I'm going, I love you, boy, which is probably something he doesn't say enough to his son. We need more fathers saying that to their boys, you know what I mean? I think everybody gets a little dig in this film, the elite, the woke, even the working classes, but we don't sneer at anybody, we're not getting on our high horse about it, we're just highlighting certain cultures. And everybody, deserves to get it at the moment, I think.
Fight scene with an 11-year-old, interesting.
I couldn't do that with someone else's child.
Of course you couldn't.
I'll get nicked.
No, it all makes sense.
Virgin Radio. People feel like we're glamorising drugs. We're certainly not glamorising drugs in any way, shape or form. You need to watch this film to understand how it destroys lives and how men get stuck, and women, in a rut, and a man pushing 50, where does he sit in society now? Sort of white, working class, middle-aged, his optics are wrong, and can he break the cycle?
Yeah, and it's a midlife crisis and some, isn't it? Because it is.
It really is.
It's another flavour of a midlife crisis.
And it is, and it's a man trying to save his marriage because he does love his wife very much, and he realises the damage he's doing to his son. Interestingly played by my real son, because we couldn't find a child or parents of a child that were willing to let him swear a bit, and it's important to swear him because it's like your actions as a parent, really, your children are sponges. And even in my character, who doesn't spend a lot of time with his son, his son's learning from him bad traits. And this is another reason of why he knows he needs to turn his life around. And he loves his wife so much. She loves him for all his flaws. And I just hope that people, like Jack Jones, that's who I play, so that you're rooting for him to save his marriage. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And he uncharacteristically has to go to things like couples therapy, which is so not his character.
No, and he's it's opening up a world to men talking about stuff that they're very uncomfortable with doing and sitting in a circle. And I'll be straight, I've been to rehab and I've had lots of therapy, and it is very difficult, especially group therapy, and especially if you are sitting there with your wife and you have to sort of sit there and declare stuff that you've never declared before. So, I think everybody gets a little dig in this film, the elite, the woke, even the working classes, but we don't sneer at anybody, we're not getting on our high horse about it, we're just highlighting certain cultures. And everybody, deserves to get it at the moment, I think.
So it is your son in real life.
Little Archie, yes.
Your little boy in the show. And is that a true story? Did you have to cast him because you needed him to do some things that only your son in real life could do?
Well, basically, there's a lot of parents that didn't want their son to swear, and I understand that completely, and chaperones and the licensing and all this sort of stuff. So, and also, and I've done this over the years, you work with people, kids that are pretending to be your child, isn't a bit odd. I mean, even when in EastEnders, you're giving a newborn baby, it's like about 4 days old, and they go, "Yeah, here's this baby." You're like, okay, wow. Yeah. So to be able to, I've got a very close relationship with my son, and we just improvised it. So going back to the patriarch,
he's very good in it.
Listen, he's just very natural. I made it feel like he wasn't at work and that we were playing.
It reminds me of the kid in This Is England.
Well, listen, the thing is that the reason he said yes is that because he got some time off school. He said, "We'll be doing it." "Oh, well, I get time off school." I said, "Yes, but you will be having to be tutored." And so we have a whole segment where I babysit him for the first time. And he's 11, this kid in the film, which says a lot. And I'm sure there's a lot of fathers out there that are guilty of this. And we just do this whole segment where it was just like a monologue on the script, like a little tiny little bit, but we stretched it out of me and him taking our tops off, rolling around on the floor, play fighting, throwing Haribo in his mouth. He's throwing Haribo in my, just actually having fun. Yeah. And then there's a lovely touching moment at the end when I cuddle him and I'm going, "I love you, boy," which is probably something he doesn't say enough to his son. We need more fathers saying that to their boys, you know what I mean? It's important.
The fight scene with the 11-year-old is interesting, isn't it? Because it's a proper wrestling match. Yeah. That's what got me thinking. I was thinking, fight scene with an 11-year-old, interesting.
I couldn't do that with someone else's child.
Of course you couldn't.
I'll get nicked.
No, it all makes sense.
Absolutely. So he brought another element to it because there was talk of maybe having to get rid of that character because...
No way.
So luckily, it happened to be, my son was of the age, he was up for it, he got a few quid for it. Not a lot, but he spunked it all online on sort of gaming.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because the golden bridge often between partners who aren't getting on might be their children. And that's why... This film without him, there's no film.
Absolutely, you're right. It links everything together, and it also gives Jack a reason to fight, to save, because he knows he can be a good father and he knows he can be a good husband. He just doesn't know how to go about it. So, it's great to roll my child in.
And you're flying at the
my
moment.
Nepo baby, now he's going to be called, no doubt.